Enter!
Princess, Oh my, you look dreadful.
A pleasure to see you too, nurse. I seem to have misplaced my husband. Have you seen him?
The prince? No, I haven't. What happened here?
My husband has a lot of energy, to say the least. We were up quite a long time.
I care not to hear the details.
What? You don't want to hear about how we were rolling around and...
Stop! My ears!
But be truthful. Do you know where he is?
No, most of the Castile is still asleep.
Nurse, the sun has only started to rise. Why have you come to see me at this hour? Please don't tell me that Alfonso is asking of me already.
No, my presence is not by the king's command. I just was worried for you.
Oh, sweet nurse. You have always been so good to me. But believe me, let your heart rest at ease. There is nothing for you to worry about.
But how can I not? These Englishmen. I could hear them as I slept, all through the castle, just... I hate to even think of it.
Tell me, was it animalistic?
Yes. Oh, it was dreadful.
Was it something resembling... I'm sorry, nurse, I couldn't resist.
Don't tell me that.
No, not at all. He was quite gentle, actually. Strong, but gentle. May I be honest with you?
Of course.
I felt as if he was trying to impress me.
You were luckier than the other ladies of the court. These English knights know no chivalry.
But were the ladies not laughing last night?
Oddly enough, they were. Quite loudly. How did you know about that?
Oh, I could hear them out the window. Oh, nurse, do not be so upset. You can think what you like of the English, but the ladies are enjoying their company. I, for one, am all for it.
You are? Are you?
Yes. I've never heard such laughter in this palace before.
Well, listen to me, child. I will not watch as this castle, your home, is turned into a whorehouse.
I implore you to view this as otherwise, merely the pleasures of one night.
Child, what you did was a holy act. These are ladies acting like sirens with these Englishmen.
Be that as it may, it is important to be able to forgive people for their actions.
Yes, that is so.
And if that is too hard for you, at least take comfort in the fact that their stay is not permanent.
Very well. For you, I will do so.
Thank you. One thing does confuse me, nurse.
What?
If the rest of the castle is still asleep, and you yourself are barely awake, then where is my husband?
That I have no answer for. I have seen no one else in the palace. It was with great difficulty I awoke myself.
But you came in here not knowing he was gone. Weren't you worried what he might do?
Extremely, especially after everything you and the others had said. But I had to take the chance. How could I not see the girl so close to my heart after the night of her wedding day?
Oh, sweet nurse. You've always been so sweet to me, sweeter than my own mother.
Your mother had to make you strong, what with your father's passing. I think she did a marvelous job.
She definitely prepared me for Alfonso. The prince... well, we shall see. Have you heard anything about the day's proceedings?
No, but I've seen quite a bit. The kitchens are totally filled with food for the feast tonight. More food than ever could be desired in one place. It will be marvelous.
I'm glad Alfonso is sparing no expense for his guests. Only the best meat for the King of Castile. Nurse, what is that large tent off in the distance?
Oh, that? I believe that is for the tourney. The king's men will be setting up stands, a melee ring, and a jousting lane.
Today should be most exciting indeed. Look, the sun is starting to rise. We should be off. I'd like to get moving before someone can summon me to their side.
Well, where are we going?
I'd like to see this tourney arena for myself, up close before the others have arrived. I want to feel the earth and smell the wood, fresh and untainted.
Let us be off, then.
But help me, nurse. Don't let me lose sight of my main goal.
Which is?
To find my husband. I want to know what was so urgent that he would sneak out of bed in the middle of the night. My, they can cause a ruckus.
They're only doing their job. A royal wedding is no small affair.
Nor is the proceedings afterwards.
Yes, indeed.
Still, they could be a little more quiet.
Nonsense. The sun has risen. It's time for people to awaken.
Not everyone was asleep at sunset as you were, nurse.
I'm well aware of that, for neither was I. I was kept up by the ruckus.
Oh, I always loved these walks. Even when I was small, Father and Mother would take me through these fields.
I remember them well. Your father showed you such affection.
Now I just pray Mother is all right, now that she's home in Ponthieu.
If you know in your heart she is safe, then she is safe. It is yourself and only yourself you need to take care of.
I know. That is the very reason we are out here, nurse. My father always said that this was a place I should go to if I ever needed to find tranquility. Here, away from the madness that is Alfonso's court, I am truly at peace. My home really is a beautiful place, no matter how much Alfonso tries to torment me. Out here I am not a woman wed to a total stranger. Here I wait for my knight to ride up on his horse and take me away from this place.
You've been reading those stories again, haven't you? Well, there's your knight, though I don't think it's who you think.
Sir Javier, good morning to you.
My lady, I'm surprised to see you up so early.
A restless spirit, good sir, nothing more.
What have you been doing, Sir Javier?
Making rounds. The king asked me to check on the Englishmen.
And?
There wasn't much to report. With all the wine they drank last night, many of them were still asleep.
Did they drink much?
No, princess. I've never seen so much consumption. It was everything we could do to keep them in their rooms. Could you imagine all those burly Englishmen running loose in the palace?
Madness.
Indeed.
Will you walk with us, Sir Javier?
Of course, my lady.
So all the Englishmen are still in their beds?
Many, but not all.
Is that so?
Yes. I believe his name is Bartholomew the Elder. He was one not in his room.
Isn't that the one who rode with the prince, the knight?
He is indeed.
Interesting.
My lady?
Oh, it's nothing. Just thinking. Oh, have you seen the tourney set up?
I haven't, but I believe they are setting up just ahead here. Would you like to see it?
Absolutely. I was hoping to.
Then we shall go see it.
I hear it's to be a grand affair.
Indeed. Every knight at court is expected to compete. I assume the English will do so as well. And, if they had any hesitations, which they don't, the winners are to be given a hefty purse, large enough to entice any man.
Will you be competing, Sir Javier?
Not in the joust, but I will be competing in the melee. These Englishmen may be large, but I'll show the Castilians can fight.
I'm sure you'll do marvelous, Sir Javier.
Thank you, nurse. Ah, here is the place.
Princess Eleanor! Good day to you, my lady.
Good day to you as well. How fares your work?
We are ahead of schedule. All preparations should be finished by this afternoon.
Excellent. Is that where we will be sitting?
Yes, my lady, we made sure you will have an excellent view of the proceedings. We expect it will be a strong showing. We were just finishing setting up the jousting poles. Between us, there is a secret in the design.
Oh, do tell.
One lane is slightly longer than the other. We were told how much these English love to joust, so to give the king's men a slight advantage, only slight, their lane allows for a longer run-up.
Meaning their blow will be stronger than their opponent's.
Exactly.
Marvelous. What about this here?
This is for the melee, milady.
It seems barely larger than a sheep's pen.
It is a sheep's pen. Believe me, milady, this is more than enough space.
He speaks the truth, Princess. A melee is not the recreation of men charging on the battlefield. It is a physical, up-close affair.
Sounds a little barbaric.
Only a little. It is more a recreation of what happens on the battlefield. Men have to be able to fight and fight well if they hope to survive once they lose their horse. That is what the melee creates. That very scenario.
Well, as long as you come out victorious, Sir Javier, that is all that matters.
With all of Castile at my side, I have no doubt of it.
We shall let you two get back to your work then.
Good day to you, milady.
Do you have anything to report from my mother?
Only that she is safe and around people who support her.
That is well. Thank you for helping her when you did.
She was my queen for 15 years, and she is still my queen today. It is an honor to serve her still.
The very best of knights.
Princess,
Yes,
why did you really come out here?
I beg your pardon?
Did you really come for just a morning stroll?
To put it lightly, Sir Javier, my marriage bed was not an appealing place this morning.
I fear I don't understand your meaning.
She means that her husband was gone when she awoke this morning. Ran away like a thief in the night.
Nurse!
It is the truth. I will not apologize for saying such.
I am sorry to hear that.
There is no need for an apology, Sir Javier. The apology I expect is that from the prince.
Do you know where he may have gone?
I know a few of the English went riding early this morning. It is possible he could have been among them.
You didn't see him with all those other belligerents, did you?
No, nurse. He was not there. I would have easily spotted a man of his great height.
I said keep your guard up.
What was that?
Listen.
Ah, we have an audience teacher.
Princess.
Bartholomew, you know my wife, obviously. Wife, this is Sir Bartholomew Pecche, my mentor.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance, Sir Bartholomew.
The pleasure is all mine, Princess.
How long have you been with the prince?
Oh, since he was about 7 or so, King Henry appointed me personally to teach Edward the ways of the world.
Father handed all my godly teachings. Sir Bartholomew taught me how to be a man. Today was just one more lesson.
And what lesson might that be?
Oh, where are my manners? This is Sir Javier, my close companion. Though I believe you may have met already.
Yes, I do recognize the good sir.
To answer your question, sir, it was actually Prince Edward who was helping me this morning.
Oh,
Yes, Sir Bartholomew is competing in the melee tomorrow.
what a coincidence. Sir Javier is competing as well.
Is that a fact?
It is indeed.
I'm glad I won't be the only one of the older stock competing.
I'm glad I can keep you company.
Sir Bartholomew is the best fighter I know. Still, as he said, he is not as young as he once was.
Edward was the ideal sparring partner. Stronger, faster, taller. I apologize if we disturbed you on your walk. We came out here for privacy.
Oh no, you did not disturb us. And don't let us stop your practicing.
There's no...
No, I insist.
Sir Javier, don't you have a shirt to give him?
I'm afraid I don't.
It's just not decent. Princess, I will return to the castle. If someone is in need of you, I will inform them of where you are.
Thank you, nurse.
If I may. I've noticed you're tipping your swings. You're holding your arm at a level where you can't support the weight. See? If I move like this...
I can see you'll come from this direction.
Precisely. Try this instead.
Very good. Thank you for that, Sir Javier. May we continue, Edward?
I'm actually a little winded, Bartholomew. Why don't you let Sir Javier spar with you? He is well rested and clearly more than a match.
Go on, Sir Javier.
Yes, my lady.
Wife?
Did you lose your shirt?
No, I tend to sweat. I'd rather not dirty the cloth.
It's a bit cold out.
I like the cold. Reminds me of home.
You're impressionable.
You should try walking around without a shirt from time to time. It's very freeing.
I'm not going to dignify that with a response.
Is that not a response? I see how it is. As stoic as a statue. Well, you weren't so quiet last night.
Hold your tongue.
She speaks. It's a miracle.
Do not speak of last night.
Why? You don't want anyone to know you sound like a whining dog? Huh?
Stop that! And no. It's because what happens in a marriage bed should be private.
No one's gonna hear me. It's not like we're in church.
I imagine you're just as civil.
I'm named after a saint. I am nothing but pious.
I don't think it's very pious to abandon a wife the morning after her marriage.
Ah, so that's what this is about. I don't know if abandon is the right word.
You weren't there. It was startling, to say the least.
True, I wasn't there. Perhaps that was wrong. But I didn't flee back to England or the like. I'm still here.
But how was I to know that?
Forgive me for not waking you in the darkness of morning. Something I doubt would have pleased you.
And was this really that important? You couldn't have waited till the daytime.
In the daytime, I'll be preoccupied, entertaining your sorry excuse for a king. Besides, wasn't it you saying I knew nothing of chivalry?
What's that got to do with anything? You definitely proved my opinion this morning.
I was preparing for the joust. Bartholomew was helping my preparation.
You still could have waited.
Nonsense. I needed time for the preparation, time I would not be able to find during the day.
And you claim this is an effort to show chivalry?
Of course. After all, what is more chivalrous than a husband winning a tournament in honor of his wife?
I've had enough.
As have I. I fear I may have tipped my hand. If we meet in the melee...
Perhaps, but I fear you'll have me in terms of stamina. I was pushing myself near the end.
Still, I now have no question the prince has a great mentor.
A fact I know all too well. But I think it's time we all return to the castle. After all, we have a celebration to attend. You have quite an appetite this morning.
Indeed, sister. You seem to be eating quite more than usual.
I don't know what you mean.
Tell me, Edward. I've heard the Plantagenet line is fruitful, but is it that strong?
As proud of a thing that would be, I wouldn't dare claim that we worked that fast. No, I merely tease my wife. She was with me training this morning. I'm sure she was unable to eat before then.
Training, you say? You must have gotten up quite early to do that.
Yes. My husband insisted on doing so, and I demanded to accompany him.
Your sister has quite the spirit, Alfonso.
I'm more than aware. She gets it from her mother. So, you intend on entering the tourney after all?
Of course. How could I not?
I was not sure if you wished only to watch the proceedings.
No. Today we pit the best English knights against the best of Castile.
Explain your expression for us, brother.
It is merely that I would not claim we have the best of English knights.
You wouldn't?
No. You, brother, have been a knight for one night. Your entourage is full of older gentlemen and fellow boys.
My husband stands taller than any man I have ever seen.
And taller than any I've ever met.
I cannot speak for you, but stature does not equate to greatness on the battlefield.
No, of course not. That would be absurd. I know my scripture, David bested Goliath, yada yada yada. This is why I'm going to win today. The joust is about being smarter than the others. Knowing how to hold your lance, knowing when to lift your shield. I dare say I've spent as many hours in the joust as I have on this earth.
A bold claim. But is it not so that the melee is a truer test of a man's skill at battle?
To the melee, I leave my tutor, Sir Bartholomew.
An old man. A strong one. I sparred with him just this morning, and his speed is youthful.
One has to remain agile in this day and age.
Indeed.
But, brother, what would you know of a melee's test? You yourself have never been in one, and your experience on the battlefield is nay non-existent.
Quiet, you cur.
What contests have you fought in, Alfonso?
I have not participated in a melee. It is not right for a king to do so.
You sound like my father. Always was scared of getting his hands dirty.
Yet you yourself do not fight in them.
A day will come when I am feared across every field I ride on. On that day, I will be touted for my skill with a sword. Until then, I'd rather not fight a man I don't have to kill.
What troubles you, Prince Edward?
It's this table. I hate this table.
It is made from the finest wood in all of Castile.
It matters not. There's such a nuisance. How I have to crane my neck to speak with every person in this room.
How would you design this table, then?
Round. Like Arthur's. We are all equals at this table. Why have one sight impaired over the other?
Because we are not equals at this table.
Oh, but that's where you're wrong. On Attorney Day, everyone is equal. Even my wife, whose spirit I dare say may be the strongest in this entire room.
Forgive the prince, King Alfonso. He so often loves to sing the praises of King Arthur.
And why shouldn't I? Arthur was the greatest warrior king that ever lived.
Greater than your grand-uncle the Lionheart?
My great-uncle Richard was a great warrior, but his life was short. I intend on leaving a much greater mark on this world before my time is done.
I think this meal is over.
Quite.
But as has been said, we have many things to prepare for today. I bid you all farewell.
You can't hold your tongue, can you?
What is the purpose with a man like Alfonso?
He'll never listen to you.
Oh, I'm well aware. I take comfort in knowing my stay here is only temporary. I may never see his face after this week.
You're already thinking of leaving.
Of course I am. I have new lands to attend to, money to be raised, a new wife to present to court. I don't imagine staying in Burgos for more than a week.
A week?
I thought you'd be glad to be gone. You haven't exactly shown great affection for your brother, the king.
Nor will I.
But what? Do not hold your tongue with me. If you wish to speak, then speak.
Would you not be hesitant to leave the only home you'd ever known?
Yes. Yes, I suppose I would. But we are one now. Your place is by my side, and my home is England. Will you be watching the tourney?
Of course.
Will you cheer for me?
I'm not sure. The men you'll be facing, I've grown up around them. Many may have known me since I was a baby.
If I promise not to give them any lasting injuries?
Perhaps.
I can work with that. Now kiss me.
What for?
Is it not good luck for a husband to receive a kiss from his wife before going into combat?
But this isn't combat. You said it yourself.
You are unlike any woman I've ever met before.
Go out there and win the tourney, and then you shall get your kiss.
Give it to me now.
You were fantastic, Edward.
Oh, I'm well aware, Herbert. They all looked so proud on their horses, and each one fell.
That first one was no more than a squire. I fear you may have broken his spine.
You may be right. Did you not see how he flew from his horse? I dared to call the boy Icarus.
You gave us a fright there in the final. That Sir David proved a match for you.
His freshly polished armor caught me off guard, nothing more.
I saw you favoring your right side on his first glance. He nearly bested you.
Key word is nearly, teacher. I faced adversity and I prevailed. To victory! My only regret was you couldn't share this day with me as victor.
But unfortunately, that is the case. I can see why the princess confides in that Sir Javier so much. He has great skill with a sword.
He only just bested you, father.
In battle, there are no jests. He forced me to yield. He is the champion today. I was more upset it was not you two who are fighting in the finals. You are knights now. You have to prove your worth.
We will never prove to be better swordsmen than you, father.
Piss on that. Where's your desire for greatness? But on the subject of the princess, Herbert, were you keeping an eye on her?
I was. When you were in the lane, she didn't break her glance.
What of her face?
What of it?
Was it stern? Was it happy? Was she joyful? Was she upset? Speak, man.
She seemed almost neutral. Even when the Castilian knights won their races, all she did was applaud. She rarely seemed to break a smile. Until the end.
What's that?
When you won the joust. It was hard to spot, but I'm certain she was the first to her feet in applause, smiling all the while.
Yes, I seem to notice that too. When Alfonso gave me this crown, I thought for sure I saw her smiling at me, though I wasn't sure if she was merely keeping up appearances.
And you giving her that rose, was that also keeping up appearances?
As champion of the tourney, it would have been wrong not to present a lady with a flower such as that rose. But I will admit, I took great pleasure in handing her that rose.
How is the princess?
I pray you're not asking how I know her.
No, not in that way.
She has spirit, a mind of her own. She'd definitely intimidate father, though that's not saying much. She has a dignity to her.
She's nothing like the tavern wenches I've seen you boys chatting up.
No. The more time passes, the more I seem to understand father's agreement to the betrothal. Alfonso, how gracious of you to join me in my tent. Would you care for some ale?
No, thank you. I never found a taste for the stuff.
Very well. You already know my tutor, Sir Bartholomew Pecche. This is his son, Herbert.
My lord.
I came to congratulate you for your performance in the tourney. I dare say, you've proved your worth beyond your years.
Yes. Imagine how good I will be when I get to those years.
Congratulations go to you as well, Sir Bartholomew. Not many men have fared so well against Sir Javier.
If only I was a younger man, I could have made it a more impressive affair.
I will admit, Alfonso, I was hoping Sir Javier would be with you, and indeed my wife.
Yes. I sent the princess back to the palace. I thought she needed some rest. I asked Sir Javier to accompany her.
Ah, I see. Well, in that case, I believe it's time we wash up as well. It's been a long day.